Tayshaun Prince, the silent defender. Some players dominate with noise, others dominate with silence. Tayshaun Prince came from a city where survival was louder than basketball. Compton, California. A place known for gang lines, street codes, constant pressure, and the daily weight of a dangerous environment. Bloods and Crips everywhere. Poverty, violence, addiction. But inside that chaos, inside that pressure cooker, Prince built something rare. He built discipline. He built patience. He built control. He would carry those traits all the way to an NBA championship, to Olympic gold, to defensive excellence that changed the way the league understood how to shut down superstars. And he would do it all without ever needing the spotlight, without ever chasing fame, without ever making noise. This is the story of Tayshaun Prince, a man who came from the streets of Compton and became one of the most feared defensive perimeter players in basketball history. Tayshaun Darrell Prince was born on February 28, 1980, in Compton, California. He was raised in an environment that demanded toughness before it offered opportunity. Compton in the 1980s and 1990s was not a place where you could afford to be soft. It was not a place where you could fail. Basketball was not just recreation for young Tayshaun Prince, it was escape. It was salvation. At Dominguez High School, Prince developed a reputation that would define his entire career. He was a player who remained calm under pressure. He had long arms that could stretch across defenders and disrupt passing lanes. He had defensive instincts that seemed almost supernatural. Most importantly, he was a player who did not chase attention. He did not demand the ball. He did not need the spotlight. He erased opponents. He made them uncomfortable. When Tayshaun Prince chose the University of Kentucky, he was choosing one of the most prestigious basketball programs in America. Under coach Tubby Smith, he became one of the most reliable weapons in the Wildcats' arsenal. Over 4 seasons at Kentucky, Prince was nothing short of elite. The Wildcats reached the NCAA tournament every single year. He averaged 13.2 points and 5.7 rebounds across his college career. In 2001, he earned SEC Player of the Year honors. But his signature moment came against North Carolina in an NCAA tournament game. The moment arrived, and Prince was calm, surgical, controlled. He opened the game with 5 straight three-pointers, 5 consecutive shots from beyond the arc, no hesitation, no doubt, just pure shooting. The arena erupted, his teammates celebrated, but Prince simply moved to the next play. That was who he was. That was who he would always be. In 2002, the Detroit Pistons drafted Tayshaun Prince 23rd overall in the NBA draft.
With the 23rd pick in the 2002 NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Tayshaun Prince from the University of Kentucky.
The Pistons were still figuring out what they had. They did not yet understand that they had selected a player who would become the cornerstone of a championship team. They did not yet know that this young man from Compton would help transform their franchise. In 2003, the Detroit Pistons faced the Orlando Magic in the playoffs. The Pistons were trailing. They were desperate. They needed answers. They needed someone to step up and change the trajectory of the series. Coach Rick Carlisle made a decision. He turned to Prince. He unleashed him. And then Prince responded with a performance that would signal his arrival on the NBA stage. He exploded. He was everywhere on the court. He was defending. He was attacking. He was making plays. In Game 7, with the season on the line, Prince scored 20 points. The Pistons won. More importantly, Prince became the only player in NBA history to score more playoff points than regular season points as a rookie. The silent defender had arrived. The city of Detroit had found something special. But the moment that would define Tayshaun Prince's legacy came in 2004. The Eastern Conference Finals, the Detroit Pistons against the Indiana Pacers. Game 2. The game was tightly contested. Every possession mattered. The arena was electric. Reggie Miller, one of the most dangerous scorers in basketball, broke free on the wing. He had a clear path to the basket for a go-ahead layup. But Tayshaun Prince had other ideas. He sprinted from the other side of the court. In a moment that seemed impossible, Prince appeared from nowhere. He timed his jump perfectly. He angled his body with precision, and he blocked the shot. A full court sprint. A perfect angle. A chase-down block that froze history. The play became legend. It was simply known as the block. That single moment, that burst of athleticism, combined with intelligence and positioning, became the symbol of who Tayshaun Prince was. It became the defining image of his career. That same year, in 2004, the Detroit Pistons faced the Los Angeles Lakers in the NBA Finals. The Lakers were the defending champions. They had Shaquille O'Neal in his prime. They had Kobe Bryant, one of the most prolific scorers ever to play the game. They had everything that looked unbeatable on paper. But the Pistons had something the Lakers did not expect. They had a team. They had discipline. They had Tayshaun Prince. In the finals, Prince drew the hardest assignment in basketball. He was tasked with guarding Kobe Bryant, perhaps the most skilled scorer the league had ever seen. Kobe was relentless. Kobe was creative. Kobe could score from anywhere on the court. But Prince was relentless in his own way. He was smart. He was disciplined. In Game 3, a crucial game for the Pistons, Kobe scored just 11 points. 11 points. The Lakers were crushed. The Pistons were dominant. Defense became championship currency that year. And the man who made that defense possible on the perimeter was Tayshaun Prince. From 2005 to 2008, Tayshaun Prince earned 4 straight All-Defensive Team selections. 4 consecutive years of recognition as one of the best defenders in the entire league. The Pistons became the Eastern Conference's model of defensive excellence during this era. In 2008, Tayshaun Prince was selected to represent the United States at the Olympics in Beijing. He joined Team USA's Redeem Team, a collection of some of the greatest players in basketball history. He was surrounded by superstars. He was surrounded by Hall of Famers. But Prince did what he had always done. He accepted the role that was asked of him. He defended. He sacrificed. He won. The United States captured gold. Prince added Olympic champion to his resume. After a decade anchoring the Detroit Pistons, Prince's career moved quietly through other cities. He played for Memphis. He played for Boston. He returned to Detroit. He played for Minnesota. No drama, no farewell tour, no emotional goodbyes. Just professionalism. The same discipline that carried him out of Compton, the same intelligence that made him one of the best defenders in basketball. Today, Tayshaun Prince serves as Vice President of Basketball Affairs for the Memphis Grizzlies. The defender became a builder. The player who spent his career shutting down superstars now spends his time building franchises. He is no longer on the court, but his influence remains as powerful as it ever was. When you study the career of Tayshaun Prince, you begin to understand something fundamental about success and about legacy. Tayshaun Prince never chased fame. He chased precision. He chased discipline. He chased purpose. He came from Compton, a city that tried to consume him, and he chose basketball as his escape. He arrived in the NBA quietly, and he performed without fanfare. When he won a championship, not by being the loudest voice in the locker room, but by being the most trusted defender on the court. He represented his country at the Olympics. He earned all defensive honors. He became one of the most respected players in the league. Tayshaun Prince is in the second category. He is a man who came from pressure and poverty and chose discipline and defense as his response. He is a man who understood that championship teams are built on defense, not offense. That championships are won by players who do the hard work when nobody is watching. That legacy is not determined by how many points you score, but by how many opponents you stop. This is the story of Tayshaun Prince. This is Humble Fire.